So we're about to enter into worship. Hallelujah. It's the day that the Most High has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. If my people would humble themselves and pray, I'll heal their land. I'll heal their I'll heal their land. If my people would humble themselves and pray, I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. If my people would humble themselves and pray, I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land. If my people will call by my name, humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. If my people will call by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. If my people will call by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land, and heal their land, and heal their land, and heal their land, and heal their land. He's gonna heal our land and heal our land. Hallelujah. Make me over again.
part 2 of what was pleasing to the Most High. So we're going to end off with pleasing to the flesh. Okay? So now, I want to know who remembers, or I know that Sakaret actually put in to the chat everything as far as what we was listening to and what we was reading. Does anybody remember? What we went on last Shabbat?
Surah 3.
Surah 3.
Children being obedient to their parents as it is unto the Most High.
That's right.
Ephesians 6, 5.
That's 5.
I felt like we went over Romaine, right?
Yeah, we went over a lot where it just it was pretty much what was pleasing to the Most High. I had like 2 more scripts, and then we're gonna jump into what's pleasing to the flesh, and then we're gonna wrap this thing on up. All right. But the most thing that I wanted to see is I wanted the Aladeems to really see it to what's pleasing to the Most High, and really what's as far as us following after the Father, as ourselves as children to our Elohim. Okay. We're gonna jump into. I wanted to know if anybody had any scriptures as far as what we would see as far as any of our forefathers were doing things that were pleasing to the Most High.
That you're talking about like an example, something like when the Most High told him to sacrifice his son. So he was obedient all the way till, and then...
He was all the way up to
Noah was obedient.
Oh, that's right.
That's good, Joshua.
No, they said Joshua, they said Job.
He did say Job.
Yeah, he
too.
did say Job.
I need somebody to grab, give me 2 Corinthians 2 and 15. And then somebody grab Romans 12, 1 through 2.
I got Romans 12.
I got 2 and 15.
Go ahead.
Okay. Because we are to Elohim the fragrance of Messiah among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing.
So us ourselves are an aroma, a sweet aroma or a stench, but we are a pleasing aroma to the Most High. And how do we become a sweet fragrance, a beautiful fragrance to the Most High? Somebody give me Romans 12 and 1 guy.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Elohim, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, set apart, acceptable unto Elohim, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim.
So that right there, for us to present our bodies. So like you were saying before, those go hand in hand. For us to present our bodies to the Most High. So when you present your body, it's supposed to be cleansing everything that you have within yourself, your temple, your mind, your ruach, right? It's supposed to be a cleansing to the Most High. So how do we do that as far as being children? Let me go to, I want somebody to grab Sirach 35 and 3. And then somebody grab Tehilliym 147, 10, and then stop at 11.
Team, you have one for questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that popped in my head that I've been kind of questioning is what exactly is the perfect will of the Father? So we know what the perfect will is in certain situations, but what is his perfect will altogether? Like for us, like the perfect design, like the blueprint for us exactly to be walking in. Because we see Torah and we see Jesus making rules for things that were broken, right? But I'm like, what is his perfect will? Because when it speaks right there, we know that there's things that are permissible. But specifically it says right here that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim. So
There's good, there's acceptable.
and then it's perfect. So I'm like, what is the perfect? Because there's things that are acceptable, right? I guess permissible will be the word. But then we want to be in his perfect will. We hear that a lot with Mashiach. So that's just one of the questions that I had as we read in here. And we keep seeing that perfect, perfect, perfect. Like, what does that really look like as far as what we can do, is what I'm saying. Like, as far as what we can do here in this land. So. That was Romans 12, 1 through 2.
Here, when you look into the word perfect, so maybe that would be the first thing, like looking into the word perfect and the meaning of it.
Right.
Because the perfect in English,
Right.
it's not the same as in Hebrew. So we know that it's functional, right? It's like good,
Right.
So
In its proper
it's
function.
proper function, like it's fully functional, right? So that will be the fully functional will of the Most High for your life.
Right.
So that's how I would see it. And I mean, is it the same for everyone? Or is the fully functional will of the Most High for a nation? Or personally for each person.
Right. Like, what is his? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Because I know we always try to say. I know we say we try to get back to the garden. Like that's the mindset. Always going back to the garden, back to the garden. Mm-hmm. So it just makes me wonder what to really look at when trying to get back to the garden. Like trying to get back into the mind of Mashiach, because we know that he was able to do it perfectly. It was not acceptable or permissible, it was perfect. So I'm like, I know we cannot do exactly like him, but
because he was always in the will of his Father.
right.
And we know that we are not. We're not always in the will of the Father for us.
1 Samuel 13, 14. That's my personal thing. 1 Samuel 13. 1 Samuel, 1 Samuel, yeah. 13, 14.
Okay. 1 Samuel.
And Acts 13, 22.
Okay, 1 Samuel 13 and 14.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
That's why. That's the only thing that I always consider.
Yeah.
We can do what we can do archaically, but then there comes a point. There comes a point where it's either you're gonna. It's like what he said in Jeremiah. Well, let's read it.
Okay.
Because I know you're already there.
Yeah.
I was rocking, you know.
Yeah.
Who got it? Go ahead and read that, please.
1 Samuel 13, 14.
Yeah, Sean, we got it.
Okay,
Get the next one, Acts 13, 22, please.
Okay.
But now your kingdom shall not continue, says Yahuwah. Yahuwah has sought him a man after his own heart, and Yahuwah has appointed him to be prince over his people, because you have not kept that which Yahuwah commanded you.
Now, we know keeping the commandments is a great thing,
Mm-hmm.
but he said he's after his what? His own heart. His own heart. Right? And then it says the exact same thing. I want to say it just basically backs it up in Acts 13, 22.
Can I just say this though? Somebody puts after his own heart.
Yes.
So to do the things, what's pleasing to him is all that you seek after is just to do things.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Seeking after the Most High's heart and what it is he wants to do. And also he's going to judge your heart. So it's like this. It is about loving the Most High. In my personal opinion, this is my opinion. This is what I just studied out. Because I wondered about that too, man. What's the only way that you can get there? Because it seems like our ancestors had gotten there and it started to be cyclical.
Right.
What was always a cyclical thing? What in Judges, right? We read it. What's the cyclical thing? Always over and over. And it's just like, well, they first had to start here to have it fallen away.
Mm-hmm.
have to start getting out and falling away. Otherwise, if you just go follow, if you just get up and do like an ant does, do the same thing over and over. But it's like our hearts, for some odd reason, because we're people, we turn. You know what I mean? We change, we turn, we have mood swings, we do all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we switch up on the Most High. So then he's like, okay, well, the only way this is going to work is if you come after me. Yeah, you have the right heart to come after my heart.
Right, and it can't be a lie because he says that we can do all things. Right?
It's not so much he can't put it above. It's not too much he can't put above on you or whatever. Same conversation we have with our Christian brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is the conversation. When they think it's too hard, well, I'm like, well, this is what the script says.
Right.
You know, like yes, I know what you say in your heart. You want to. He knows my heart and all of this, and whatever. But he also knows your actions. That's why I love that in that verse. You still have the word commandments there. Commands. You know what I'm saying? Commands. But you know, commandments. To still do what he says. That don't mean now you just do what you do whatever.
Yeah.
That still means following him. Last time I checked.
Or trick yourself into thinking that it is his will for you.
Right. Just to go off.
There should be a blueprint. Like if he specifically spoke to you, like how he spoke to Abraham or Moshe or something, he told them go and do. Right? And that's a big thing to say that to somebody. Yah told me to go and do.
That better be right.
It better be right, right?
I ain't never gonna tell you nothing besides, hey, most I tell you something. Who am I?
Right, yeah.
Unless I got book, chapter, verse to tell you not to do something.
That tells you the opposite.
That's the only way. That's what did what's his name say? Somebody, y'all better tell me. What's his name? Said that. Darius. Long story, but anyway, we'll get to it.
Shout out to
Aisha.
Darius.
Shout out to Aisha. Y'all better tell me. You right.
Yeah.
Don't give me to go to something unless Most High speak to you.
Right.
Of course, you can go in the order.
Acts 13:22.
Yeah, go ahead. Just a repeat, but hey, they have one on second week.
Y'all ready for me to go?
Yep.
And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, son of Yeshai, Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will.
That's it. The will aspect. His will must be perfect. So there you go. We had to preface it, obviously, first sentence, but then it just repeats itself in the Acts 13:22. That's all we're doing.
That was a good question.
That's my point.
Alright, so let me see. What was the scripture that I pointed out? I want to make sure. Surah 35:3. And Tehilliym 147:10.
Is 35
35 and 3. Alright, we got it?
35:3.
Yes, sir.
To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is propitiation.
Say it again, I can't hear you.
To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to your Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation.
Alright. So basically, departing from wickedness, we need to flee from it, right? Even when Yeshua said to Hasatan, what did he tell him? At the end,
Depart from me,
get thee behind me. You know what I'm saying? Move around, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want to be there around wickedness. If we are dwelling within wickedness, you know what I'm saying? That's an abomination to the Most High. That's a stench. You know? If we have wickedness among us, it's supposed to depart from it. I think that right there, that hits volumes for me. Just having people, you got people around you that ain't following Torah, ain't trying to do this script, they ain't even trying to do anything that abides to this sefer, and they gotta move around. Or you gotta move around from them. You know, you see people get uncomfortable. I remember Shafir was telling us upstairs that he had somebody in his car when he was doing his job. And, you know, as soon as they hear the music, or I know y'all been around people who ain't even in the scriptures, and when you start reciting scriptures or talking scriptures to them, they start getting all uncomfortable. You know, I've seen people where they start moving. You know, I remember I sat down with my mother and my sister and a friend, and she was just doing all of this, moving around. Yeah, like it was weird. But you can actually see that spirit move in her, where it was like it was really uncomfortable. She felt uncomfortable. You know?
Some will lash out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's two extremes. They'll either be real quiet and kind of, you know, hands to the pants moving on like you said, or some will actually lash out at you because, you know, they're just so against.
That's spiritual.
Yes.
That's spirit to spirit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Somebody grab, who's got Sirach? Who's got Tehilliym 147?
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
He doesn't delight in the strength of the horse, if he takes no pleasure in the lips of a man. Yahuwah takes pleasure in those who fear him and those who hope of his loving kindness.
Anybody got another version?
Was that another verse? Another
Yeah.
version?
Yeah.
What version was you reading out of just now?
What version?
See through what?
Oh, so he's reading KJV.
10 and 11. He does not delight. Oh, this is out of ISR. He does not delight in the strength of a horse. He takes no pleasure in the legs of a man.
You seen that, yeah?
Takes pleasure in those who fear him and those who wait for his loving commandment. Is that the same?
Oh, this verse is,
What you got?
Oh,
That's what I got. I got the love in this part, was falling to his love. So basically, he takes pleasure in those who delight or who fear him, basically. So when we fear him, that's one of the things, because that's a sign of wisdom. Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So he says he takes delight in those who fear him.
Delight.
So what is he looking at where we live right now?
Yeah,
In this country, and what the path that is taken. You can't help, you can't help the thing. He just gets disgusting. Yes.
Yeah. That's like, let me see, Zedaka. That's like if you had your pet, right, or the pet that you have, and you tell your pet to come in. You're like, Blue, come here. And Blue just looks at you and just keep moving. Every day. You know, you open the door and the pet runs out, and then it doesn't come back until it feels like it wants to come back. How you gonna treat that? Are you gonna treat it still? You gonna disown them? You gonna turn your back on them?
You'll be surprised what happens to you.
It's not. And that's how it was with the Most High with us. He disowned us. He turned his back on us. Right? These were things I had to do. Now, it was because we were doing what? We was pleasing to the flesh. So this is where it ties in. So this is a great way to jump into this. So let's go ahead and get into, I want to get into the 12 patriarchs. I'm going to jump with Reuben, the Testament of Reuben. And then I want somebody, if anybody can get into their Sefer and give me 2 Maccabees, starting 2 Maccabees chapter 9. And this only reason why I'm bringing out the Testament of Reuben, which is, the pseudo books, is the reason why I'm bringing this because it comes back to scripture where Reuben ended up uncovering his father's nakedness, right? So we saw where he uncovered his father's nakedness because he saw her, so it was something that was pleasing to his flesh. So when he saw her, he was our eyes are the gateways to everything right now. So when we see that, that's what triggers our hearts to do anything right now. You see somebody that's walking and they look like they stink. You know what I'm saying? The first thing you're gonna do, you gonna hold your breath. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I walk out. You don't want to. You don't want to do that.
Not even.
Or you see somebody giving you that eye, this time of the wickedness. You see people that be coming out there, and be looking at you up and down. You like, I get nervous when I see a dude of the same gender, and he be looking at me like he want to eat something. I be like, oh no. I start looking everywhere. I start looking away. Asking you questions. I remember we used to go and get this stuff from. We used to go was it Wendy's? Or somewhere, Whataburger, and this guy used to always pull up and he used to always say it with the condiments every time. Salt, pepper, ketchup! Salt, pepper, ketchup! Every time. I'm driving, I'll be like, yeah, let me go ahead. He's right here. I'm like, let me go ahead and, just ketchup. Y'all want spicy? I was not looking. I didn't want you to think any kind of way that I was a part of your wickedness. I wanted anything to deal with that. There's some people that can look at people in the eyes and do all that, and then you start giving them what? Mixed signals. That happens all the time. A woman gets a compliment, what happens? She gets. Yeah. I used to get mad at my wife because she would smile when people would give a compliment.
They don't even respect that you are with somebody.
Oh no, they don't care.
We were at IGB one time, and the cashier, she was like, ooh, you smell good to my husband. What's your perfume? And I was like,
Years ago.
I know. Last week.
Yeah, like last week.
Hello. It's the perfume that I bought.
Yeah. All right, Testament of Reuben. So the first portion of this is Reuben's sin. Alright, you can read it already. It's time to read it all. Okay. Alright, and so it says the copy, if y'all got a copy of it, y'all look at it online. The copy of the Testament of Reuben and what things he charged his sons before he died in the 125th year of his life. When he was sick 2 years after the death of Joseph, his sons and grandsons gathered together to visit him. He told them, my children, I am dying and will go to my fathers. When he saw their Judah, Gad, and Asher, his brothers, he said to them, raise me up so I can tell you and my children what is in my heart. They got him up, then kissed him, and said tearfully, listen to me, your father, and follow my commands. I call the God of heaven to witness my words to you. Do not walk in the ignorance of youth and fornication like I did.
So what is he doing? He's telling him his what? He's burdened, he's telling him his sins. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's telling him because he knows that his time is up. So you notice how everybody, when they're like on, I have a great grandmother, she was on her deathbed, you have people that start telling you like, hey, it's my time, I want, call this person in, call that person in. I want to tell them I'm sorry and I forgive them. I want to tell them, please, tell them to forgive me for what I've done. So what he's telling them right now is like, hey, don't be like me, be better than me. This is what I've done in the past. And I've done this stuff, so keep going.
I defiled the bed of my father, Jacob, Yaakov. For this, God gave me a disease in my loins that lasted 7 months.
Oh, so he had a disease where?
In his loins.
In his loins. He said, where's your loins at?
Midsection.
Somebody said, what? I think we know what I was hoping to get there. There's a technical term. The nether region. You use all of these.
That's what he had. That's where it said. And he had it for 7 months after he slept with God. Right?
Yep.
Alright, go ahead. What else do you do?
If Yaakov our Father had not prayed for me, I know I would have died. I was 30 years old when I sinned in the sight of the Lord, Yahweh. And for 7 months, I was deathly sick. And I repented for 7 years, purposing in my heart before Yahweh not to drink wine or strong drink.
Because that's going to lead him to error. It says in the scripture that don't be too much. It doesn't say that we can't drink. Right? It doesn't say you can't have a little sip of wine, but it says, don't get drunk. Some people out here teaching you can't drink at all. It doesn't say that, but it says when you drink, and you drink so much that you don't drink so much that you start to do what? Forget the commandments. It ties back. So why did he not drink? Because he doesn't want to go back to where he was before. Because 7 months of pain like that, to where he said it felt like death. I can't, people, I don't know how many people have hurt themselves in those areas, but I mean, I've been kicked before, punched before. Oh! Yeah. But when I see people on TV and something like that happens and they make fun of this stuff, but that pain that's in there, imagine having that for 7 months. No, sir.
That's true. That's
small little incident of all tap.
That's it. That's it. You forget everything. So, 7 years. I understand where he's like, 7 years.
Because people don't, like what you're saying is people don't really understand that because they have so many things that you can do. Like nowadays, you can get all kinds of medicine and all kinds of stuff, that they can do to help to society. But when you're in this state and there's like literally nothing that can ease it, and it's continuously 7 months to the point where you're like, oh, I just want to die, because it's that bad.
Nowadays also the bad thing that they're not getting punished.
Oh, that's it. Exactly. That makes it.
I said that nowadays also, it's not like an instant consequence, right? They feel like they get away with things.
Yeah.
Finish up?
And it says, nor eat meat or pleasant food, mourning over my sin. Such a great sin should never be seen in Israel. And that's it for number 1.
Alright, who's got second Maccabees? I need to start at 3 for me. Second Maccabees 9.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, start 3.
Start at 3.
Now when he came to Ekron, lose the brought him what had happened to Hannah and to Moses. Then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Yahudim the disgrace done unto him by those that made him sick. Therefore commanded he his chariot to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey. The judgment of Elohim now calling him, for he had spoken proudly in this sort.
So he was full of pride. He was ready to go ahead and do some killing. Right now, when you get in there, you get your chariot, you get your car, just drive, keep going. Don't even stop. You see somebody on the side of the road, I don't care, just keep going. Alright?
That he will come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Yahudim.
Oh, he's about to go ahead and just bury every Yahudim that's dead. I don't care who it is, I want them all dead. Go ahead.
But Yahuwah saw the Elohim of Yasharel smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. For as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts. And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. Howbeit, he nothing at all ceased from the practice.
So even all of this, he was still bragging while he had this pain in his stomach. You think that he was seeing from Elohim, or you probably made it was like something else. Might have been something I ate last night. You know, something like that. Yeah, that's how it is. Whenever something happens to us, it ain't gonna have a sign that pop up and be like God did it. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna have that, and especially if you're proud. You got that pride. Something happens to us, if a car breaks down, you don't get something that you want. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you like, oh, that can't be me. I didn't do nothing wrong. Or you got quick to blame somebody else. If you get hurt and you got this person next to you, well, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell me? You know what I'm saying? Like there's been plenty of times where I know people, they've done something bad and they quick to use you as a scapegoat. I lost my job because of you. What did I do? You didn't tell me the alarm was going off, or you didn't let me know what time it was. I didn't know I was supposed to wake you up today. You know? That's something like that. That's just pride. Go ahead.
But still was filled with pride, bringing out fire in his rage against the young beings, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were in much pain.
Oh, every part. Go ahead.
And thus he, that a little before, thought he might command the waves of the sea. So proud was he beyond the condition of man. And he weighed the high mountains in a balance, and now cast on the ground and carried in a fourth litter, showing forth unto all manifest power of Elohim.
So, where were they carrying him at? It said that.
Oh, you talking about in?
It said that he was carried in
a horse litter.
In a horse litter. This is places where the horses would go. So now you so hurt now. You can't even be in your carriage. You got to be in the part where the horses be taking a dump at. Oh, that's disgusting. Go ahead. And on top of that, he had cuts all over himself too. So imagine that, getting infestation with that. Go ahead.
So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. And while he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army.
So it was so bad that his flesh, it was like a skin-eating disease, right? It was so bad that worms were coming out of his skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad Yahuwah showed him that it stank so bad that you knew this man was coming around and you knew that he was around. It's almost like that House of Dragons with that king. And he's decaying on the inside. And he stinks so badly. Alright, keep going.
And the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink.
Oh, it stinks so bad. It stinks so bad that nobody even wanted to be around this man. You know, they thought that this man, they were like, he's so good that he could be able to move mountains. He's almost up there with the Elohim, right?
Yeah, he thought that he could reach the stars in heaven.
I can do that. I can do all of this. I can stop the waves. This man said I can stop the waves in the ocean.
Like, what do you think? That's like I'm here.
What?
But that's like that man that was saying that he was a comforter and then died of COVID.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you're saying that you're the comforter, but you're asking someone to give you scriptures. You don't know the script. I mean, but people were really believing it, and he was really saying that, and then ended up dying like that. There was also a man that didn't take a bath for like 70 years.
Yeah.
And when they gave him a bath, he died.
With water? No.
Yeah. I mean, this really happened. I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a man from India, and he was so dirty that his skin was black, like his legs and everything, and he just chilled. And they said you can smell him from far, like I mean, down the road. And they finally, the villagers got so sick of it that they finally just dragged him,
held him down
in the bath, and he died after.
Oh yeah.
So
We just had last week.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Continue life. His filth continue life.
Or the demons, like,
Yeah, well, it's another thing when, like, let's say you put some alcohol on that wound, you know, it hurts to high heaven. It's just water. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that water was like alcohol to his whole body. You know, putting in shock almost.
Yeah.
Or even that, or they probably throwing in a bath where, you know, a woman, because y'all be taking like baths with like boiling hot water. I don't understand. So this don't make no sense. Y'all be trying to boil the dirt off y'all. I understand.
Guilty.
That's too much.
You gotta burn the germ.
You gotta burn the dirt. Burn the dirt. It's too much. Alright, go ahead.
And the man that thought a little afford, okay,
Yeah, you got that.
okay, 11. Here therefore, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of Elohim, his pain increasing every moment. And when he himself could not abide his own smell,
He stinks so bad he couldn't even smell. He didn't want to smell himself. Yeah, that's just how bad it is. Go ahead.
he said these words, it is meet to be subject unto Elohim, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself if he were Elohim. This wicked person vowed also unto Yahuwah, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying thus, that the holy city to the which he was going to in haste to lay it even with the ground, and to make it common burying place, he will sit at liberty. And as touching the Yahudim, whom he had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children to be devoured, the fowls and the wild beasts, he would make them all equal to the citizens of Athens.
All right. So at the end of it all, right, he ended up getting what? He ended up getting humble throughout it all.
It's not too late.
Yeah, because he was so prideful when people were like, you stink. He's like, I don't smell it. You know, I ain't stinking. That's you. You know what I'm saying? Who dealt it, smelled it. Right? Or who smelled it, dealt it. You know, he was walking around here so prideful, thinking there's something wrong with you. You ever met people that just so prideful, you try to tell them something, they answer, hey, why are you like that? Why are you like that? You know what I'm saying? You have a question, they answer a question with a question because they don't like the constructive criticism, or you trying to correct them on something like, hey, man, you don't need to be like that. You don't need to be like that. This is pointless. What are we having this discussion for?
Deflection.
That's a deflection like a channel.
Yeah, deflection tactic is
And that's the thing, right? With him, he had to get so humble that he had to have, not only did he have worms, like falling out of the chariot would have been, alright, this ain't it. He got drugged out of the chariot, right? You got worms coming out of your body. You got people that now you're alone, people don't even want to be around you no more. When you start getting alone, hey, that's when the humbling moments start coming to you. It's almost like when you out in the world and you're doing wickedness out in the world, you get caught up, and then now you got to sit down for like 5, 10, and you alone. All of a sudden, that's when you have people that say, oh, I came to Allah, Buddha, or Yeshua. You have all of that stuff, but you got to get humble. So he's going to bring you into a place to where you feel like you got all this. All right, y'all will take that all away. And when you have nothing, is when you get humble the most. When you have all the fake friends around you. You have all the fake family around you. Right? You had Job go through that. You had David go through that. And he got humble.
He had to give it up. He had to go ahead and say it straight up in verse 12, right?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, man. You know what? It's me to be subject to Elohim. It's like you're supposed to be subject to Elohim.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and say it. All right. So, like you said, you gotta get humble. Humble. You gonna get humble.
Alright. So look, that's the point. So when we go into who's got Romans 8 and 8 through 9. Somebody give me Romans 7 and 5 first.
Romans 8.
Uh-huh.
I got Romans 7 5.
Alright.
So Romans 8 through 9.
8 through 9. I want Romans 7 and 5 first. Go ahead.
Okay. or in the flesh, the sinful passions which were aroused by the law were at work in our members to bear fruit for death.
And if somebody give you Romans 8, verse 8 through 9, please.
Okay, I got it. And those who are in the flesh are unable to please Elohim. But you are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If indeed the spirit of Elohim dwells in you, and if anyone does not have the spirit of the Messiah, this one is not his.
So we're walking within our flesh, as we see it in 7 and in 8, that with that, you're not going to have the law that's in you. But if you walk in the Ruach, then you're going to have the law that's within you. If you have the love of the Most High, Scripture says that. If you have the love of the Most High, then that is going to dwell within you. That Torah is going to dwell within you. Because you're going to be doing everything to make sure that you keep the love of the Most High within you, and also that you're going to be trying to go after His heart. Alright? Somebody give me Judges 17:6 and Proverbs 12:5.
Proverbs 12:5. Judges 17:6. In those days there was no king in Yasharel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
So at that time when there was no king, right? So I guess it was like, what, a state of anarchy? Almost.
A feudal Israel kind of.
Right. Almost like when you have a classroom and you ain't got no teacher, the teacher walk out. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. You always got one person that want to jump up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like being, or when you at home and you know your mom be like, I'm going to run to the store. Y'all want anything? I'll be right back. And then after you go and do it, I'm going to go drink out of the carton. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go jump out. I know she said don't go outside, but I'm going outside anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do stuff that you ain't supposed to do. That's it. That's it. And then you know when you got your older sister, somebody there, every time when I got my older sister, my mama was gone, she'll try to say, hey, you ain't supposed to do this, you ain't supposed to do that. You ain't my mama. Shut up. And nobody but the sister, that's it. You ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna tell? I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do anyway. That's how I tried to do, but I knew there was stuff that wouldn't get back to my mom. I knew that I was like okay to do it. So it's like when you feel like the Most High is gonna judge you right then and there, that's when you feel like you can get away with anything. I can do whatever I want. But we learned this back and forth when Aki Amaziah was talking about, or Moreh Amaziah was talking about the kingdoms within you.
Servant.
Right.
Servant.
Right. Servant Moreh Amaziah. The kingdom within you, right? And it was saying they can get away with anything, right? They felt like they can get away with anything. But you can't. Because the Most High sees all.
Yeah,
that's it. And He's going to see what you do. Because what's done in the dark, right?
Yeah.
It's the light.
And Israel always wanted it was never supposed, we weren't ever supposed to have a king over us other than the Most High. He was supposed to be our king. He was supposed to be the one that governed us and ruled over us. But when Israel wanted a king so bad, the Most High gave him Samuel, and he wasn't perfect. So now you have an imperfect person ruling over you. But the Most High was like, I'm perfect to rule over you. So even when this space of time, that could have been a time of redemption for them to realize, we don't need a king over us. Yah can be over us. But they had gotten so far removed from just abiding by an imperfect example that they just didn't return back to just following the Most High. So when the king was off, the people were off. When the king was on, the people were on. When the king was off, the people were off. And so it was just like, they just went, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, they're always going to try to find something. When y'all gives you, like with Moshe, right?
Yeah.
Y'all gave the people Moshe. The people are always going to feel like, and it's just like us when we grow up. You know, we always going to feel like, oh, I can do that too. You know? I remember my mom used to always ask me to do stuff. And, hey, fold the clothes, wash this. And I'd be like, why don't you wash it? You know what I'm saying? Or why don't you do this? And I'm like, in my head now, when I'm thinking about it as a child, you know, that 1 Corinthians 13 always tells you, like, as a child, I'm thinking, why did I even think that way? Like, why can't she do this? Or why can't she do that? Why she waking me up at 4:30 in the morning? I'm pretty sure she was like, why don't you pay no bills in this house? Why aren't you driving me to work and dropping me off so I don't have to do
Why
that?
do I have to ask you?
Why do I have to ask you to do it? You just don't just do
Why
it.
don't you just do it?
You know what I'm saying? Or you think that we came out of the same place with each other?
Yeah.
You feel like we equal.
That's the problem. You feel
That's
like
the
you're
problem. You feel like we equal. We're not equal. You ain't did nothing for me to even say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I got you to be my, helpmate. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a child.
Yeah.
Period.
That's
You're
crazy.
a child. I'm a child. I didn't think that. I was thinking like, she should respect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So some people at this time think that, hey, I'm doing what I need to do, God. They should be happy that I'm in their life. Go ahead.
It's off subject. I just want to take the time to thank the Most High and thank the buddies for they found thunder.
They found
Hallelujah.
The laundry room.
Oh!
Bad mama.
But you're not working? No, that's what I'm saying.
But it was always there, Sharma. That's the news.
Numbers not. He's not Shih Tzu, is he? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, gotcha.
And I saw the door and something.
That's the cool thing about it, but that's also the other bad thing.
Not there.
Gotta listen to the inside.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, everybody says the verse that you Proverbs 29, 12. It goes along with what you just said. But anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Proverbs 29:12.
It's 12.
Alright. So who's got
There we go.
we read Judges.
Yeah, you read the Judges. What's that?
Yeah, we read that. So next one I got is Ephesians 5,
Okay, yeah.
start at 8. I said Proverbs 12 and 5, but you
Yeah, but you ain't right now.
no, I said
Okay, Proverbs.
New Proverbs. But go, somebody give me Ephesians 5 and 10.
You said Proverbs. Stop. Somebody else will do that. If you,
I thought he was going to leave. He said Proverbs. So I thought
5 and 10.
oh,
5 and 10.
yeah, no. 5, 8 through 10.
Oh, 8 through 10. Okay.
exactly not good.
For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Master. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is well pleasing to the Master.
Yeah, proving to what is well pleasing to him, trying to learn what is pleasing to him. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn what is pleasing to the Most High. Not what is pleasing to ourselves. A lot of stuff that we have out here that we looking at and reading and researching, it ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. If you ain't researching and looking up something that's going to benefit for the Most High, then what are you looking at? Realistically. What are you doing to please yourself? What are you studying behind? If it's not going to help out Yasharel, if it's not going to help out your walk with the Most High. Alright? And at the same time, when we say what was done in the dark come to the light, well, we was walking in darkness at one point of our time. And to walk in the light is to be what? To walk in the righteousness. Right? So we was walking according to our flesh. Now we got to walk in according to the Ruach of the Most High will. Alright? Alright, so who's got it? Who's got Proverbs or Mishnah 12 and 5?
I'll read it.
Alright.
The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit.
So this is what we see where we have those where they just want to just give you certain examples. The Pharisees, you have them constantly trying to tell you like what is right according to them, according to traditions of men. You always got somebody trying to tell you, well, God don't like ugly. You know, you're always trying to say that, but those of you the same people who never read scriptures at all, we understand what ugly you're talking about. Which one are you trying to say? Because the main thing is people want to come to you. I always have, you know, my aunts and aunties. My aunties always have something to say where it comes to scriptures. And they'll quote a scripture to you, but be walking in that same filthiness. They'll try to tell you that you ain't supposed to be judging nobody, but quickly judging everybody else. Those be the main ones. They giving you counsels of wickedness. It's okay to walk around like that. My grandmama was trying to ask my son, like, look, how many girlfriends you got? Oh, no, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I know you got a bunch of them talking to you. Don't put that in his head at all. This is the issue. Because we're trying to break that curse. And you got people that would put that little seed into a child's head, and then now he's walking around with pride. Yeah. That's the main thing. Alright, so with that, I need somebody to grab Tehilliym 29 and 25.
29 and 35?
25. And then somebody grab me Galatians 6 and 8. Or I'll grab Galatians 6 and 8. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Hold on.
I was like, I don't see that.
My bad. Grab me Galatians 6 and 8. Or I grab Proverbs. I said Proverbs 29 and 25.
Oh, Proverbs.
Yeah, he said.
No, you said Tehilliym.
I said Tehilliym. My bad. I meant to say
Oh, boy,
Proverbs.
you was quick to
I'm sorry.
throw that at me.
My bad. That's why I meant to. My bad.
Humbling moment.
Texas said he'll read it, King.
Why didn't you say it when I said it?
I'm gonna start seeing what people go through.
Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things. Okay. For he that sows to his flesh shall for he that sows to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that sows to the Ruach shall of the Ruach reap life everlasting.
Oh. Okay. So you telling me that if you let's go to the precept on that one. So you telling me that it's everlasting if I go to my Ruach. Who has wisdom of Solomon? Real quick, I'm gonna jump to wisdom of Solomon, and I need I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go wisdom of Solomon, and I'm gonna go to 1 and 15. But I'm actually gonna start at 10. 10 and I'm at 15. You get this person on school. No. So, for the ear of jealousy hears all things, and the noise of murmuring is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. For there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belies slays the soul. Seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hands. For Elohim made not death, neither has he pleasure in the destructions of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and their generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal. That right there, and the fact of that we kind of listen to what? to what goes on around us, what they say about you. Or you come in and you see people talking and just all of a sudden stop you. Well, what y'all talking about? All of a sudden you get that sense of what? Like, I know they're talking about me. But if you ain't worried, like, yeah, you can say whatever you want about me. I know who I am. I'm a child of Yah. I ain't worried about what y'all gotta say. Y'all don't really do nothing. Y'all can't do nothing that's gonna hurt. That all you can do is what hurts on the outside. Y'all ain't got no seat saved for me in the Shamayim. Y'all can have a seat saved for me in Shaul if I allow y'all to. If I allow you to. If I follow after what you're saying. If I take heed to the murmurings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's easy for us to do. But if I follow on the Ruach of the Most High, then I'm not worried about what you're saying. That's nothing. When people, you heard what such and such said about you, I don't care.
Yes, oh my God.
That's it. That's it. That's the fact that when you allow people to go ahead, you're going to allow somebody to dictate your life and tell you what to do or tell you who you are. And that's it. You've already cast yourself into the lake. Just off of that alone. Because what comes after that? As soon as somebody says something about you, you the quickest one to be like, well, shoot, you know what her man said. I mean, you know how that brother is. Matter of fact, in his household, he get ran like this. Like, now you're going to start backbiting each other. You know what I'm saying? You quick to jump back with something on them. That ain't even the spirit of the Most High.
Now you expose something that, so now you become just like that person. Because the person comes to you, reveals something, and then you turn to the person and be like, well, did you know that they, and so now they trip, it's pitfalls and snares. Now you didn't tripped into it instead of being like, oh, okay, they said this, okay. Especially if that person is amongst you. And that's what was going on in Israel, is that people was amongst one another. It's not like it was this person that was way out of town somewhere or disconnected. Like somebody, the sojourner or whatever. No, these are people within the house that are with you that you're saying stuff, and you got to be around those people every single day. So how are you supposed to be around those people every single day, and you turn and you know that the brother just told you this, and now you just told the brother something, and you don't even know, like, it's just confusion.
Yeah.
A lot of Matthew 18. LA Matthew.
It goes straight in the hand. I'm gonna jump to real quick to Ecclesiasticus 3:24 because that goes hand in hand with it.
That's why in those situations, if somebody tells you something regarding somebody else, you tell them. Either you go tell them, or I go with you to tell them. Because if you enter in the conversation and you don't say anything, it's like you're agreeing as well.
Yes, it is.
And then you go behind their back to repeat it, then now you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So the best way to stop the person is to say, hey, go tell them, or I go tell them, or go together. Now the person's gonna stop.
Yeah, they will. They're gonna stop because they don't want to do that. Because they don't want to do that. They
don't want to tell face to face.
They don't want to do the face-to-face thing. And like you said, and if you're there and you don't say anything, then now you become a partaker of that person's sin. But you could have just cut it short and just said, you need to tell this person this. Like, if you come in and telling me, who else you done told? So if you come in and telling me, so now I need to, now I'm responsible. Now I got to tell.
Unless you like this, do a little bucket. So y'all hungry? Y'all ready to go eat?
I didn't hear anything. You be like, may the Most High turn my ears off. Like, you don't want to be you don't want to be a partaker in it though, because that's how people get tripped up. And we all been caught up in it. Where somebody says something and you didn't call in it, and you like, man, I heard. Now you cannot unhear it. And now you can't unhear it. And even though you might say to yourself, this will not cloud my judgment. Even if you say to yourself, I don't care what that person says, it will not change my. No, you're a human being. You heard something, and the inquisitive nature inside of us wants to know, especially if it's something real bad. Like, oh, she cheated on her husband, or he cheated on his wife, or these children out here wilding. Like, I mean, those types, you like, am I a partaker with a friend like this? And so then you start doing your scope, you know, like feeling like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this, and now you're already judging the person before you even know whether it's true or not. So, be careful now.
I'm gonna read this one. For many are deceived by their own vain option, or opinion, I'm sorry, by their own vain opinion. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. So like you said, when you come in, you're like, are they talking about me? I bet you they are. I bet she thinks that I bet you think that you can do something like that. Or why are they always thinking that I'm doing this? You know, as soon as I'm in my room doing my homework for the first time ever, and I remember my mom's butt stand, boom, what you doing? Like, I'm like, right. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I ain't from another nation. I'd be like, you could knock? Excuse me? What's going on? What's going on? I could get naked. You know?
That's you have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you really saw it,
I saw that video that Australia parent. The girl goes in the room and actually locks the door with her little boyfriend. And first off, shouldn't even be in there in the first place. The father took was like one of the saws you use on the Mustang and sawed a huge hole and just left it like this. Oh my goodness, man.
That's the thing. You let her be with the boyfriend in the first place.
Other nations in the first place. I know.
So you gonna carry your own stuff?
Yeah, like you tore up your own stuff to prove a point that this is not your house. But what you could have just did was just kick the boy out. Number one, he gotta go. And number two, I told you. Well, that's what I was going to say. I went to my friend's house one time in high school, and I walked through the door, and I was like, oh. Like there was no door, and I was like, Jim, what happened? And she's like, oh, my parents took my door, and I was like, took your door? Like, what could you have possibly been doing to get your door taken? And she was like, no, I did this, and my mom took my door.
Real quick.
No door.
You can't fix your mouth to say something like that, like to Yah and be like, you know, hey, what's the purpose? When he removes people out of your life, you gotta understand there's a reason why he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we want to hold on to people, as much as we want to have people next to us, you know, because we miss the way that they used to make us laugh, we miss the way that they used to make us feel. You know, some people boost you up and give you certain, they always use certain cheerleaders, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got people, you always doing good, you are great. You know, if they don't see who you are, you need to leave them. Stuff like that. Those people right there, if they ain't putting Yah in your life, it's like, is it really meant to be? Am I meant to find somebody like that? Now I'm going to go to 29 and 19 of the same book.
What's that song?
So right, you read 3 and 24?
We read 3 and 24, and wasn't that?
Yeah, we just read it.
Yeah, Wisdom Solomon 1.
No, it's not the Wisdom Solomon, same book.
Same book.
29 and 19. I just read it.
Yes, you did. My bad.
Yeah, I be paying attention. I already read 324.
That's what I read.
Yeah. 29.
19 to 22. This goes with you with what you were saying. You want to get it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got Sirach 29. Chapter 29, verse 19. A wicked man transgressing the commandments of Yahuwah shall fall into short tissue. Okay, help me out there. Short tissue. And he that undertakes and follows other men's business for gain shall fall into suits.
So what's that mean?
Y'all probably
We gotta go strong to that. Is the rock even in? No, it's not.
You got, yeah, I'm about to say short tissue.
Oh yeah, like, bro, if they would just put the secret in strong, bro.
Short tissue. Half undone, being good estate, shaking them by the way of the sea, undertake, and to follow others' man's business for gain.
Shorty shit.
So in that point, you know, you're going to follow into another man's business. So what does it basically mean? Mind your own business. That's what it's trying to tell you. That's what the problem is. When you jump into other people's business, what you got?
I looked up the word shortyship. Shortyship.
Shortyship, yeah.
Yeah. And it says the office of surety or bondsman. So you basically become a part of a bondsman. It says definition.
Yeah,
Let me see. The act of being bond for another. Or bound. I'm sorry. The offer of being bound for another. So it's binding you to something. So meaning if you hear or whatever, like what you were just reading, meaning that that's binding you to whatever that it is that you just heard. So basically what we were saying, you heard a conversation, you're bound. Now you're bound to that.
And it was talking about like you said, bonding, like another person's legacy. This comes out of like this. They have get this.com. It's called AB1611.com. It's like a King James dictionary.
Okay.
AB11, which I just found it, bro, since we're doing all of this. So to go along with the same thing, suretyship from surety, the state of being surety, the obligation of a person to answer for another and make good on any debt or loss which may occur from another's delinquency.
There you go.
Like bonding, like
you're bonding
somebody.
You're bonding somebody out.
So is it almost like y'all remember on Friday when Smokey said Craig, me and Craig, you know, we got Nah, now what? Craig's a part of Smokey.
Yes.
He got to pay back debt. He was like, "Well, I got my money by the night. You and him."
That's actually a perfect example.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You and him.
He told him that.
He was
like, you and him.
He's looking at him like, why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah.
First thing I would have jumped up, I was like, what are you saying? Like, nah, that's all him. I got nothing to do with that.
One day, and it's not even a whole day.
I took 2 bucks.
Session.
That was it.
And he said, you and him are gonna kill for him using all that stuff, all that time he was doing that, and it took a couple times that he did that, and he blamed it with him. So now they both gonna get killed.
That's it. But that happens still today when you're guilty by association.
Yeah.
Just being there with that person. If that person did wrong to get y'all Sherelle, oh yeah, y'all, now both of y'all are gonna get wrong. Both of y'all gonna get stoned.
Like the camps that be yelling at people, like, because when I was employed, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a descendant of the original. Like, ho, you know, guys from New York, they're like, we got an Israelite here, guys.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah, you're going to be guilty by association just from that point. Now, if you're walking with somebody in school, and I remember I got pulled over, and when I got pulled over just for a traffic citation, the guy that I was with, he was the one that ended up robbing somebody. I didn't even know. He ended up robbing somebody, and there was a strong arm robbery. And there was a case that happened, he said it happened like a year ago or something. But I didn't know, and I'm just riding with this guy who I worked with at that time. Man, as soon as he ran my stuff and then ran his stuff, I saw him just doing this. I was like, man, what you shaking your head for? We just pulled over, it ain't nothing.
We in trouble.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's not that serious. I've been pulled over before, it ain't nothing. So next thing you know, the cop came to the car, drawed his gun, get out! Get out now! Lay on the floor! Like had us on, slammed him on top of the hood. Boom! And I'm like, what? All of this for, like, what's going on? Searching me, grabbing my places and everything. I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? He comes to me, he said, do you know who you with? And I'm thinking like, man, this Pablo Escobar's little brother. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got no dope or nothing. I smoked that before we came here. I don't know what's happening. So next thing you know, like he was like, yeah, ask your friend. And I was starting to question our friendship. Literally our friend. He told me. And I went to the car to check the license, you know, like what's going on? But he told me what happened afterwards. He was mad the entire day. I'm mad with him. I'm I'm not mad at the cop, I'm mad at him because we could have avoided all this. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, if I had known that you robbed somebody and all this stuff, I would have thought twice about giving you a ride home.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying. But the fact was that you are entitled and you are held to a responsibility. So whoever you hang with at that time, whether it's what they say, birds of a feather, what? Alright. So when you see that, they're gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? So alright, go ahead, verse 20.
Help your neighbor according to your power, and beware that you yourself fall not into the same.
Okay, so what do you get from that when you're supposed to be helping your neighbor according to your power?
I got an example. Like I said, I used to live in Houston. You know, like basically the quintessential lady on Rosie Wilford moved in right next to me. And then like one of her boyfriends needed a ride. I'm thinking he's going for a real job. No. So he's like, I give him a ride. So probably he was like, I ain't never even been to you. And I'm not like in war, like we were in war. And he's like, hey, you can stop here. And you know, I stop. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess you know, I thought I was like the gas station or something. And you get that, he's like, oh, and a pistol and like weed, you know, spilled to the back seat. I was like, oh. He's like, nah, you good, bro. Thanks for the ride. You know, he gets out and so that was what I was like, he's like, hey man, thanks for helping me get to work. I'm like, you're welcome. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just 6 degrees, bro. That's it. 6 degrees.
Specify your work. That's what I'm saying.
You can't be, I mean, we all at 6 degrees just away from calamity. Hopefully it's riches, you know what I'm saying?
Like seriously. When I think of this, when it says according to your power, that you don't fall into the same where you have debt, right? You don't have that much to give, but you're gonna give him or you're gonna give her some money, or you're gonna help out to a certain end. Hey, you drive me to Houston and you know your car needs maintenance. Yeah, I'm gonna drive you out there to Houston. Then what happens? You on the way back, your car breaks down. You know what I'm saying?
I got something. Okay, so when King and I started dating, back when I was in the military the first time when we were adults, King took me to go get a burger. And he gave me the burger and I ate, like I was eating the food. And then he told me, oh, can you buy me something? And I was like, no! Like, what is the point? Like, we could have just bought our own food. Like, you could have just bought your food, I could have just bought my food. But that's a good example of, and he told me I just spent my last on you. So it was like,
I didn't tell her.
He told me after the fact.
I didn't tell her, like, it was almost like that movie Half Baked. And the money was just like, he was just calculating the money in his head. He go to a place, and then like, he only had $7. I'm good. Hey, that's it. He was at McDonald's and she was like, you ain't gonna get nothing? And I was hungry. You know what I'm saying? That's when the burger, like the double cheeseburger was 99 cents. And I was like, hey, can you get a double cheeseburger? I'm not buying a nigga nothing. Never buying a nigga nothing. I was like, so I got home, my mama was thinking like, y'all are supposed to be together. I'm so happy. She came in, so what happened? And I was like, it ain't our time yet. That's it. That's how I felt. I was like, because I was like, she can't buy me a 99-cent burger. She obviously
it was just in my head, like, but when I read the scripture, kind of like, it makes sense to the way my brain was thinking at that time. I was just kind of like, dang, like, I don't mind buying stuff for people, but it was just for one time that I want the dude to just buy me a burger, and I don't have to do nothing like this, like financially, like back or whatever.
Who set up the date?
Huh?
Who set up the date?
I don't know. Nah, you know I did. You know I did.
I did.
Because I was home from the military, it was just like hometown recruiting type thing. It was a small time, and so we were just trying to.
I couldn't cook. I was trying to make ramen noodles. But that definitely put me into debt that But it all panned out.
You got it back, babe. You got it back.
Verse 21, y'all. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shelter.
Yeah, that's the stop at 22.
Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
Hold up. So what is that? What?
Oh!
So wait a minute. So you saying that it's better for a man to be poor to live in a mean cottage, in a mean community, somebody that's ruthless and mean to him, than to be in a house, right? In another man's house that's not his.
Yeah.
Because how they gonna treat you in a house that ain't yours?
Oh my God.
Has anybody ever lived in a house that ain't theirs in the way that they talk to them?
Oh man.
Not the heaven anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people believe, like I used to believe, like being anybody else's house other than my mama's house would be better. Oh, I was wrong. Way wrong. I couldn't even be any wronger. That ain't even a word. But if I couldn't, that's just truth. Because I felt like, I go live with my friends. My friends was like, nah, we don't do that here. Nah, okay, well I'm gonna live with somebody else. My other friend was like, his mama was like, when you leaving? Damn, like that's too many in my house. Like that, she was just upset, angry. You couldn't do anything. I tried to go stay with my sister, and it came all the way down to the ice cubes. I popped the ice cubes, put it in my cup, and then I went to go put it back in the freezer because I'm not thinking to fill it up. She's like, no, we don't do that here. We put water back in there and then we put it in the freezer. Okay, yeah. And then I go and grab something to go I ate, put my cup in the sink. No, we don't do that here. We wash this, and I'm in my head, I'm a child, so I'm just like, somebody gonna wash it. It ain't gonna be me unless it's my day, right? And I was like, what do y'all do here? She was like, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this. She was telling me everything they didn't do. I was like, man, I'd rather go home. I don't even want to be here because it was so much that you had to do. And at my friend's house, his mother was saying, if you stay here, you're gonna have to pay. And that means everybody works except people. So you gotta have a job, you gotta do this, and I'm not talking about being out in those streets, but you have to have a job. You gotta bring in a paycheck. Everybody, and you have to pay for a couple of bills, not one bill. And she had 5 children. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how many bills are you paying for? Like I'm trying to think. But when I was at my mother's house, I didn't have to pay for no bills, and then when I did have to pay for bills, it was one, maybe 2, and that was it. But when going somewhere else, nah, it's totally different. You didn't have the freedom. You wasn't able to do certain stuff. You had to be out the house at a certain time. You come in the house at a certain time. You had no company at all. Totally different. No respect because you're afraid to move around. So that scripture definitely speaks that.
And they'll remind you and stuff. They remind you that it's not yours. Because I remember when we would live with somebody, like with my mom and my sister, my cousin would remind me every time, this ain't your house. That's not your refrigerator. That's not your food. That's not, every single thing, like he would point out. And I don't think he was doing it intentionally per se. It's just a mindset of just being like, well, let's just say I'm watching TV. That means that you can just come and just change the TV because it's not my house. It's not your remote. And even a child. So imagine being a grown up in somebody else's house.
When I was a flight attendant, we had crash pads. So I think in Atlanta, I had a crash pad. And I had a bunch of flight attendants and pilots that lived there, but we got a mechanic who came to live with us. And we're all paying bills, and I hated it because this guy didn't like commercials for some reason. So we'd all be watching TV, and then when a commercial came on, he'd mute it. And I could never understand that. I could never, why would somebody mute the TV out of commercials? Nobody would say anything. Nobody would say anything. Hey, can you not mute the TV? I might want to hear the ad. But anyhow, that just reminded me.
That's a good one.
And And I'm weird like that. I mute commercials. I'm serious. So that's what it is.
I don't have TV. I have ad block.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm talking about whenever I see him, I used to, because I mean, commercials are there the best part of waking up. There's a reason why, like, the commercials are, they pay whole departments to make sure, I'm muted, because I don't want to listen to all them jingles. Like, that was me, you know.
The second person I've met like that.
I used to hate them. I was like,
10 and then we stop. 10. Start at 10. And then that's it. And then this is the last one, y'all, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Second quail.
Second quail, 10. 10 or 33 is 10? 33:10, I'm sorry. 33:10. And we're going to stop at verse 14. Oh, actually, let's stop at 15, brother. Stop at 15, I'm sorry.
Alright, 15.
Yes, sir. I need a loud reader on this last one.
Everybody's video.
You said 33?
Yes, sir.
Starting at verse 10?
Verse 10.
Is that loud enough for you? Perfect. Alright. Therefore, O son of Adam, speak unto the house of Yasharel. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we then live? Say unto them, as I live, says Adonai Yahuwah, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his ways and live.
So at this time, I'm not bad, I'm gonna read, I'm just gonna say at this time he said, what I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Where some people be teaching that he's gonna laugh and be happy that the wicked die. He ain't got no pleasure in that. Yahuwah don't see that. Again, he wants us to have immortality, righteousness, right? That's what he wants us to dwell in. He doesn't want us to dwell in our own, stew of stinkers, right?
Turn ye from your evil ways, for ye will die, O house of Yasharel. Therefore, son of Adon, say unto the children of your people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turns from his wickedness.
So you telling me at this time when the person will be so evil and so wicked that if they turn their ways, that if he can't turn away from his ways, or are we saying that in this scripture we're saying that something so bad, someone that's so horrible, and he turns from his ways and he sees the Most High for what he is, and he repents, then he's able to still make it in? He's still able to be saved? Is that what you're saying?
But your consequences still.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not going to save you. It's not going to, your righteousness is not going to do nothing for you in the day that you sin. Meaning, it doesn't matter how many times you were righteous before. If it's 11:59 and 12 o'clock is the time, and you fall off at the end, you fell off.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be, exactly, Moshe. It's not going to be like, because you built up all these good things, but then you decide to start living wickedly. And you think, but for 10 years I lived good and I only lived bad for one. But you turn.
Yeah, that's an Egyptian death, right?
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
The scales.
The scales. That was a death, yeah.
Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sins. When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live if he trusts to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall be remembered. But for his iniquity that he has committed, he shall die for it. Again, when I say unto the wicked, you shall surely die, if he turn from his sin and that which is lawful and right. If the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, without committing iniquity, he shall surely live. He shall not die.
And that's it. Boom. So in the end, it ends off with the way that we're supposed to do every time, right? Fear the Most High, and keep the commandments, and that's how we're supposed to be walking in the statutes. Obedience, right? Obedience to Yah. And we're not obedient to our own self, to our own vain glory. In this time, to where we're walking, it's a sense of where we feel like we can say in our head and try to make it up to where like I'm right. And then what we do, we try to seek out those who think just like us. And we turn away those who don't think like us. You know what I'm saying? I always had somebody that like, ain't she wrong? Well, technically, she ain't even on my side. I'm about to. You know what I'm saying?
It's not good.
Is that why so many people ran away from my room on banging hat?
No, if you wear your man, you know, they don't see what you don't get is there's certain people who don't respect criticism. There's certain corrective criticism. Yeah, you know, and you're trying to sit there and correct them according to what the Most High says. And it's either it's like Gatorade, is it in you? You know what I'm saying? Because it's either you got the Ruach in you or not. And if you want to obtain to these scriptures, then that's what it is. If you feel like what you know is better, and the worst part is when you're trying to have discord within the household. If you're telling somebody else to do something differently than what is told to you from the Father, then that's showing discord, whether you see it or not.
That's where Kevin had to get corrected. Remember you talking about when he had that dream?
Yeah.
About eating unclean food? Same thing with Paul.
He was like, well, she can't hear me.
Oh, Peter. Remember he had to get corrected about
the dream that he had.
Yeah.
He was like, Father, you know that there ain't no unclean thing in the left. At all.
But the Most High one told him to eat it, to consume it. He said, no. He said, no, this is going to do it.
He knew but to question that he knew what the commandments were. So that's the problem with us, is that so many people are so far away from the commandments that when somebody tells you to do something contrary to what Yah says, if you don't know that that's not true, then it's easy for you to question and be like, oh, can I do this? You know, instead of being sure, and being like, oh, right, you're not solid because you don't know what it is that he's instructed you to begin with. There was a scripture that y'all were reading in Sirach, and it reminds me, I cannot think of where the address is, but I believe it's in James. And I think it goes with Sirach when it says that to help a person according to your measure or according to your strength. In James, I think it says that to help somebody, but be careful that you don't fall into it. I think that's James that says it. Where I can't remember where exactly, but that's what that reminded me of being be careful when you're trying to restore somebody, that you don't fall into the same sin that they're in. And so that's kind of the same thing of helping somebody. You can help somebody, but let's just say you struggle with that thing too. It might not be too good for you and him to be trying to do that together. You might need a third person or another, individual to help out instead of you having two people that struggle with the same thing, trying to help each other too.
Yeah, like two people on dope trying to.
Right. Trying to get clean. You need somebody who's already clean, who can come in and help.
Somebody that doesn't struggle with it.
Right, exactly. There you go.
Alright. That concludes the lesson.
Got anything there?
That Ephesians 5-10, right? It looks familiar to Genesis. Genesis 1. We're talking about when we talking about the darkness. You saw the light. Alright. 1 and 4. Elohim saw the light. Oh, 1 and 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness upon the deep. Ruach of Elohim was on the face of the water. And Elohim said, let there be light. And there was light. Elohim saw the light. Good. Light. So that's the light. Light is darkness. Light day is darkness. Light.
Down rabbit hole.
Hey, y'all, let's pray it out real quick. Let's pray it out, man. Pray it out, man. Let's pray it out. Let's pray it out. Thank you, Father.
The words that we heard today. Thank you for giving us the ears to hear. Father, we ask that we take these words with us throughout the next week. And just want to ask that you bless the messenger today. Father, y'all, thank you for gathering our mission of God to come together once again. I pray that you send us on our way safely back to our homes, Father. Father, y'all, for those that were not here with us, I pray that they also will hear this word in the future. Father, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for everyone here. And until we meet again, I hope that you watch over us. I pray that you watch over us and protect us and keep us safe. I pray all these things in the name of your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, along with the King.
Lord with the King.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The banana, part 1, the fire truck, part 1. Banana over there. Over there, the banana.
Yeah, that's what
I'm joking with you.
Oh.
Fire truck.
You gotta hit stop the finger.
And then the verse is okay.